I'm such a professional. I literally just stopped one video and started another one. I'm putting this up here for my Reddit community, guys. Believe it or not, I am a huge Bengals fan. I've been a Bengals fan my entire life. I have nothing but love for the team, even when I'm sitting there saying that I'm mad at the team. So we just looked at offense in the last video, and it was getting a little long, so I'm switching. But we want to talk about defense here. So we're looking at, again, we start with the all 22. I'm not breaking down the Bengals formation. I'm not breaking down the Steelers formation. I just want to see what happens on this play. And it's a pitch to the left. And they ran a pitch to the left so freaking many times that game. There's a couple times that Rodgers did fake the pitch and end up rolling out. They were setting up a few things, but I thought they were setting up something else, and they never really came to fruition. Number 74 must have checked in as eligible 1,000 times that game. He's still doing it last night too in Sunday Night Football. Again, sorry about my voice. I've been sick. Usually I have a cool voice, but it is what it is. So we're looking at this from the all 22 view, which means all 22 players are in view, and this is what we see on TV. So we would see right about here-ish on TV, and then they would zoom in almost instantaneously to this section, and we're going to follow the ball on TV, and we're going to see, boom. And what we see is where did we start at the 40? We see a 12-yard gain, and that's all we see as fans typically. We want to go in there and figure out why. That was the all-22 shot. Here's the tight shot. What I was talking about another time was the game within the game, and what we don't know at this point. First thing that is this the play? Yeah, here we go. First thing that we see is Logan Wilson go up and tap 92. Is that BJ Hill? I'm just gonna say numbers. He taps 92 on the butt and moves him out to a different spot. He's changing his gap assignment. Something was said, something was seen in film says, if you give us this formation, we know you're going to try this. And we know that they're going to pitch it off to this defensive right side. So we know that they saw something as well, like as I did during the game. Here's our pitch. There's our blocking. Just looks like simple zone, isn't it? Just a pitch. I'm not going to break down the zone or the blocking on this one. What I do want to see is, where did the failure come from in the Bengals? We look at defensive run. We talk about gap, alignment, which is where you are before the play. We talk about assignment, which is where you're going as the play begins. So in this case, we have head up, we have A gap, we have B gap, we have a kind of C gap, head up-ish situation. Those are techniques. You can see Logan Wilson is set up for the A gap. Now the assignment then would be, where does each player go the moment it's snapped? Everybody looks like they're going straight into their gaps that they're already aligned to. Right here, the issue is in Stewart. As he goes and he gets blocked inside, this is his gap. As he's sent inside in a run play, he needs to no longer go up the field. You cannot continue up the field. At this point, he needs to settle his feet. Now, we look at 92, 98, and I don't know who that is out there. We look at those guys. They have settled their feet, and they're still in their gaps. They're taking their assignments. 44 out here, I think that's Knight, out here is in his gap assignment. So there's the gap assignment. There's the gap assignment. His head's on the inside, tells me that was his assignment. Logan Wilson sees that there's a huge hole right here, and most people will see that and then talk about a receiver or a back bouncing out. That's not what's happening. His hole is here, and that's where we're getting the seal. Now, if Stewart were to stop going up the field, as you see 92 doing, guys, if I get the name wrong, this is why I'm just using names. I think that's BJ Hill, to be honest, and that's Sheldon Rankin, and that looks like Miles Murphy. Okay, whatever. As 92 continues flat down, keeping his shoulders square to the line, 98 does the same exact thing. As Logan scraping over the top, 55, he is doing the same thing, square to the line of scrimmage. As this happens, you are getting a transfer of your entire defensive line into the path of the runner. You have safety help coming in from 22. If Shamar Stewart had done that, if he had broken down here and then continued to fight his way with his man, there would not have been this hole. Coming back to the all 22 eventually. Man, I'm really high production value. Watch him. He's right here. He's going to go up the field. I don't know how much he weighs. Let's say 280. Don't care. 280 pounds. Force equals mass times acceleration, right? Physics. It really is useful. As he's going, do you really think that a halfback running at full speed this direction, you're going to be able to be pushing everything you got this way, stop right about here and come out and get him? Hell no. Which is what he tries to do. But what happens? No chance. He's got no freaking chance. Right here, if he stayed flat and came down the line of scrimmage like everybody else did, oh man, this is a high production value, guys. If he comes down the line of scrimmage, he is maybe not in his gap because his head's on that side, but he's got his guy. This all collapses. But because he decides to dip inside, not keep his shoulder squares, think he's making the home run hero play, that's what we get. Guys, that is football. Football is so freaking easy. I can't even explain it. What do we got going on here next? All right, more defense. This is actually the exact next play. So what we see here, as you know, whatever, Rodgers shifts a guy. Okay, cool. Someone saw something. We're not privy to any of this. We see the same kind of play, and we see it being stopped. And we say that's a successful play. Is it? Well, let's go look at it for a second. We're looking at what the line does. And we just talked about this 8 seconds ago. Look at this guy. I think that's Shamar again. As he gets in there, he makes contact, keeps his shoulders square, comes down with the line. He does get caked with the second guy hitting him there, but that's a kill shot on that puller. But look at what's happening. His body's here. All these Steelers are still here, but there's nowhere for this back to run. We have what's called the edge being set. So we're trying to keep that contained on the inside. What happens is he's either got to go back into all this crap where there's a bunch of Bengals, or we got to find out how fast he is. And he tries to go to the edge, and there is nothing there. There's no way that he's going anywhere because all of the bodies are in the right place. So let's look at that real quick from the tight view. Again, the game within the game. You don't know what is happening out there. You don't know the blitzes that are called. You don't know anything. Right away, we see 49. Carter is going to tell this guy to bump. Both of these backers saw something, whatever they had in film about this formation. They said, oh, hey, we need to get in this look. They gave us this. This is the question the offense is giving you. This is the answer the defense has. That's all it is question and answer. So this is the question. We gave them the answer. We then posed a new question. Aaron Rodgers says, okay, here's my answer. Got it? That's what's happening pre-play here. Question and answer. We want to look at, again, all of our defensive line start going down. Most of them. Right here, 98 is turned. That's actually a really good block by the center. But you see that where the ball is going, both of these guys are square. 22's already heading downfield, and that's fine. Engages his man. Now we have a wall right here, and that's what we're trying to establish is this wall. And there's nowhere for the back to go. Nowhere. So he's got to go wide, and it's a 1 yard gain. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's how you watch and break down football. And this play is because I'm so freaking tired of Orlando Brown. I'm going to make this a video by itself too. High production value, guys. High production value.